Hey, Chart Master, the question everybody has to be asking themselves right now about February. We all want to see Bitcoin go to the six-figure mark. That's what everybody's waiting on. That's what everybody's counting on. That's what everybody thinks is going to happen. February, I'm calling it breakout month or fake out month. And it could be a big determining factor, right, B2, on how far we can go with Bitcoin this year. What do the charts say? What do you think is going to happen? Is this going to be a breakout or fake out month? I've got my ideas too. Let's get into this.
Very good, Pete. Welcome, everyone. Yes, this month is break it or fake it. So we're going to find out, what is the charts telling us? Well, I'm kind of trying to speculate what's happening in the news. I have always seen from time to time that when there are too much news out there, you have to be kind of concerned. You got to be questioning yourself. Is it really time to get in? I was reading the news the other day and they were talking about FOMO, the fear of missing out. There's a lot of people that are looking at the charts right now, and especially Bitcoin. It has exploded to the upside. Doge has also exploded. So people are like, oh my God, I'm missing the train. Should I jump in? You need to be a little bit careful, especially in investment. You don't want to jump in too late because you're going to get hurt. So the question now is, should people be jumping in? Will Michael Saylor and all his whales, all his big corporation and institutions are going to put a lot of money into Bitcoin so that's going to it's going to skyrocket again? I think we're going to have to look at the charts and see if the charts are telling us something, because I'm seeing too much news, and when the news are out, you have to be worried. Pete, what's your thinking? What's your thought?
Well, I think a lot of it'll be interesting to see what kind of pull. We know that people have pull. Let's take a look at all the Wall Street bets on Reddit. I mean, they're getting Doge, which is basically a worthless stock, a worthless crypto that was made as a joke. They got that to skyrocket. Now you got Michael Saylor who's having a big event. If you guys don't know, take a look at his site. Go to MicroStrategy. He's having a big event where he's got all the leaders of Bitcoin coming in to talk, and a lot of investors he's hoping are going to put their money in. That's a lot different than just like a little hashtag post from Elon Musk that made the price go up like $5,000 in, literally like a couple hours. And he just put a hashtag out there. Michael Saylor is having an event to where he's hoping a lot of the whales jump in the pool with him, putting real money in. Now there's real money in there and it goes up, and we see that happening. This could be the move that puts it towards the six figures. But if the event doesn't go like he's planned to go, and the whales sit on the sidelines, or there's not enough money to really get people excited about it, then it could be a big break month, and it could kind of determine the rest of the year. Are we going to go to six figures, or are we just all fooling ourselves out here?
Very good, Pete. I'm thinking that this news is all around. This event, is well known. But everybody's sitting, on the back of their seats, waiting to figure out what's going to happen. What I have seen from time to time again, when these news are out, these big whales usually either they're already in the pool or they fake out to the downside, so it gets a nice movement to the downside, so that the whales can jump in at a lower price and see a nice movement to the downside. And there's a lot of news out there saying that Bitcoin is going to hit 20,000. So that could be the number where there's going to be a lot of people jumping in, so that you take it to the six figure. So let's take a look at the chart and see if we see something, or we'll see what's happening. What do you say, Pete?
Okay, bring up those charts. As I'm waiting for you to bring up those charts, I'll just kind of piggyback on what you were saying. In that, yes, the price is high at 33K, being that Bitcoin never broke 20K ever. But when you look at all the projections by Citibank and a lot of other people thinking it's going to go to 100, 200, 300, 500K, for the whales, the price is still really low. So, we might not need it to go down to 20K to start really going up high if the expectations are what they are and it's actually going to happen. I'm putting the chart right up there for you so you can go to work, my friend. Take it over, Chart Master.
All right, so here's the chart of Bitcoin daily. So what happened? So on the smaller time frame, which is the 4-hour time frame, we see that there was a breakout. So the price, and this is what people was talking about, Elon Musk put in his hashtag that he had a lot of Bitcoin. So he basically took Bitcoin out of the triangle formation. Everybody was expecting it to continue. And then it kind of died out and it came back into the triangle. So it's kind of sitting, if you look at the daily chart, it is just consolidating. I think everybody is just trying to see what's going to happen, what this February MicroStrategy meeting is going to come out, what are the whales are going to do. So we're going to have to wait and see. What this chart tells us is that the consolidation is here. Is either going to continue to the upside and test the highs, or it's going to go down. And as we talked about, there are some gaps here to fill around the 20 area. So if it breaks to the downside, there is great chances that we're going to see the price hitting in the 20s. So probably 23, 23.5 is kind of a number where the gaps will be closed. So as we all know, as technical traders, gaps do fill for the majority of the time. Now, you're talking about, are these triangles, a reliable thing? Like I mentioned in the past, they are 67 to 70% accurate that is going to happen. So if we look at Doji, so let's take a look at Doji. So this is the chart for the Doji. So there was a lot of those Reddit, Wall Street bets, and look at what happened here. This is a beautiful triangle. And maybe if you're not a technical trader and if you don't know about technical analysis, you're asking, how does this triangle form? Can these people actually synchronize? Can this actually happen? That's millions of people, and there's no way to synchronize such a thing. This thing happened because of supply and demand. This is a buying, a distribution. This is accumulation, distribution, and explosion. And this is what we saw here. This is a perfect triangle. You explode it to the downside, and you can see that it usually makes a good move of the opening of the triangle, or some of the distance between the triangle here. It broke to the downside, then it went down a little bit more, and then you basically, if you're a technical trader, you price your entry, you price your exits, and you're out, because the rest is unknown. Pete, what is your thought?
Well, my thought is this. I'm going to play a little bit of devil's advocate, if that's okay with you. I don't know if you can really compare the Dogecoin chart to the Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin's been around for 10 plus years. Michael Saylor thinks it's digital gold. He thinks it's the New York City real estate of the internet, to where you want to get in and you never want to sell it. And I think that we've been seeing this descending triangle. That's true. And most of the time they're going to continue to go down before they go up. We've got gaps to fill, all of that. I think if it was going to go down, and this is just a gut feeling, I would have liked it to kind of see go down to 20K before January ended. But we didn't have that. We had a lot of consolidation, a lot of up and down, up and down. I don't think Michael Saylor wants to have this big event and then all of a sudden it goes down after his event. I think that he's put a lot of time and a lot of effort into this. Elon Musk had one post that just had a hashtag for Bitcoin, and it drove the price up $5,000. I think that this is, my gut feeling is we're consolidating. I think February is going to be a good month. It has historically been a great month for Bitcoin. We're having this big event. These are real people with real money that could come in and put a lot of money into the market, which is going to drive the price up. Dogecoin, it made a joke of a cryptocurrency. Price went up just off people on Reddit, and the whales are much bigger than these people on Reddit. And Bitcoin is a real, people are looking at as a real store of value for their money. They look at it as better than gold, many of these people. So I have a good feeling. I don't think we're going to go down. I think it would be a failure in Michael Saylor's mind if he had this event and then all his whales, all his buddies, and everybody decided not to jump in. I just don't see that happening. I don't see them having this big event so they can just fake everybody out. I think they have plenty of money to put into the market. I think the difference between 33K to 20K is not a big deal for them right now. And I see it going up.
Very good, Pete. I think that's a good thought. You're looking from the apprentice, from a retail investor perspective. I'm looking directly from the chart, and the chart tells me a triangle, and I play on probabilities. The probabilities here are 67% to 70% chance that when it breaks, you will continue to the upside or to the downside. So we see here that if it breaks to the upside, as Pete mentioned, there's a good possibility with these events coming up. If it doesn't break, it goes to the downside. There's a good chance that the 20s here, 23 or 20s will be tested, and is up for us to see. What I would like to also show is two things that are happening right now. The Ethereum. So we talk about Bitcoin, we talk about Doji. So there's two very interesting charts that we want to look at. If you see what's happening with Ethereum, Ethereum is actually going sideways, levitating to the upside. But if you look at the indicators here, on the downside here, you have the tidal wave reversal indicator that is already telling us that a reversal, it's on the horizon. So if I were to invest on this money, I will look at shorting this right now at this price, putting a stop loss at the high over here for a 2 times my my risk. So 1 to 2 risk to reward. Looking at the Ethereum, if we look at the
wait a second. What price would that be, though? You were showing people what price would you put it down to? Where do you think it might go down? Where are your target ranges?
Very good. So we like to make round numbers. $1,300 is the entry point. The stop loss is about 1480. So we're talking about 180 points. So you double that, that's 360 points. So if we decrease, wow, that's a big move over here. So 2 times my risk. So we're talking about the price actually going around the 1,000 to 950. So this will be my target, somewhere around this over here. Actually, the bottom here is a good target. So 920, 950 is a good target for you to exit. You can, if you like to play multiple positions, you can exit at 1-to-1 risk, and then you let the second one roll to the 2 times your risk. And every time it rolls to 1-to-1, if the price does move, you do want to make your stop loss. You're going to move your stop loss from the top here to your entry point. If it goes your way, make sure you follow and then move. Let's go to the S&P 500, the stock market, the health of the economy. How is the market doing? Like I was mentioning to Pete, this is actually becoming a very interesting chart over here. For the last year, since the pandemic has started, we have been in a bull market. We have a couple of declines over here. And then we just been kind of floating to the upside again. Are we going to see some lower price over here? Well, I think we should see some lower price over here. The market is just going way too high without a big drop, and there is no reason for it to continue to go up, because the economy, it's not very healthy. If you look around, there's so many big corporations, stores, the retail stores that are filing for bankruptcy. Companies are starting to lay off people by big numbers, and they're talking about the pandemic being around for the next year. So we're going to see this, wearing masks and not wearing masks for a while. So I don't see a good entry point over here, but there is a good possibility here that the price is gonna drop from the price where it is right now to about, look at the red line here. If you see, there is a good support right over here. So it probably made a lag over here. It's probably going to climb up and hit this one. And then if there is, a strong enough move to the downside, the second red line, which is another support area, we should see it hitting this level. So we're talking about from 3,700, which is right now, to about 3,600, the first target when it's going to the downside, and another one around 34.5. 34.50 is another good target point. Pete, take it away with our final thoughts.
Well, final thoughts is I think we got to see if if Bitcoin is really going to do in theory what it's supposed to do, at some point it's got to break from the stock market. It seems to follow the stock market. Stock market goes up, Bitcoin goes up. Stock market goes down, Bitcoin goes down. But the people who really believe in Bitcoin, the theory should be the opposite. It's like, it's all about money printing, and that it's the one money that you can own, Bitcoin, that the people are in control. And we don't have to be victim to the corporate greed that's in the stock market, the printing of money that the governments do, and that it should be a more safe investment, that where when all hell breaks loose, that you've got your Bitcoin, you got your gold, you got your silver to run to. And so, this will be an interesting year to see that happens, because you would think that the stock market is going to go down at some point because of all the money printing, of the pandemic still being around. Also, we know that this president wants to give the money to the people and not the companies. I actually happen to think that that's right. I don't think all the money should go to the companies and not to the people, but people who are business people and money people, they don't like to see the people get the money. They want the money, and that's what makes the stock market go up. Now the money's going to go to the people, in theory, which would have the stock market go down, because all the greedy people don't get the money, and so that's going to put the stock market down. So I would hope at some point, the theory, if Bitcoin's really going to make it, it's got to show what everybody believes in it for. It's that when things go bad, everybody runs to Bitcoin and gold to put their money in. So this will be a big test this year for Bitcoin.
Very good, Pete. Thank you very much. And we'll see you guys on the next video.
Subscribe.